how's it going, everyone? Welcome to PanGeekery, a weekly live video podcast covering all things geek from an all diverse perspective, I should say. Welcome to our second episode! Yay! So, if you missed last week's episode, here at PanGeekery, we're going to talk about all things geek, like it says in our little slogan there. But we're going to hit video games, comics, movies, TV, everything we can. For as long as we can. It's going to be awesome. My name is Earl. I am your first... I don't like first host. I am one of your hosts.
Hi, I'm Jen. I am also another one of your hosts.
Hi, I'm Kaitlyn, and I am another one of the hosts. Imagine that.
As you can see, we are missing Walter today, but that's all right. Shout out to him.
He'll be back, though.
Yeah, we promise.
Unfortunately.
Another shout out before we start. I want to say thank you to Jimmy John's for sponsoring this episode.
Jimmy John's!
Fed actors are happy actors.
Yes.
Thank you for your delicious sandwiches. So, up for this week, we have a few things. But first of all, let's catch up. How are you all doing this week?
Doing pretty well.
I'm doing all right. You sound so chipper.
Me?
Did you notice? He was like, hello, everybody. You know?
Yo, don't question it.
I'm like, it's magic. Dang, I need to get on Earl's level.
Right. Can I have the Jimmy John's that you
I'll
have?
have what you're having.
I had that roast beef and turkey. I was all up ons.
Nice.
Okay.
Thanks, Jimmy John's.
Thinny chips. Yep.
But yeah, okay, so news this week, me and Kaitlyn's film just got into a film festival.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
At Houston's, the Houston Asian
American Pacific Islander Film Festival, also known as Happy Fest.
Happy Fest.
So I co-wrote it, and she starred in it. I also co-starred. We both starred in it.
Both
so we're excited. Hopefully we get into other films this year.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Get into other film
Congratulations.
festivals.
Other film festivals and
But-
films.
And films.
Yes,
Always.
yes.
As many projects as possible.
Always. What festivals did you get into this week?
All of them.
Earl.
All of them.
Yeah, like
Dang.
hands and
You must be rich.
I
All
know,
those submission
all those
fees.
submissions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just have money hanging out the anus.
Out the butt.
Oops. Out the butt. Well, speaking of butts, we'll talk about butts later.
That's the onus. Yes.
How'd
Onus is
the
the anus.
onus is the
How did your week go, Earl?
went all right. Chill. We had a lot of fun at the after party last week. So
We did.
Yeah,
Jen
yeah.
had to bounce early because she had work early the next morning. But the rest of us, Earl, myself, our producer Rodney, and the crew had a gay old time at
Yeah.
Tokyo Beat, I think it's called.
Yeah,
In Little Tokyo. We did sake bombs. We sang A Whole New World.
Yeah, close your eyes.
Yeah, but the pop version. So.
do you trust me? Well, yeah. So we had a pretty.
Oh, shout out also to the listeners who showed up.
Oh yeah.
You guys are still in the running to receive
We care about you most
our
of
free
all,
giveaways.
actually.
Yeah.
More than us. More than Jimmy John's.
It's not about just
For
us.
you.
No, really, I
Please.
swear. Like I said, we were going to talk about butts a little before we started everything. Last week we had a little thing. We were asking everybody, how much exactly is a buttload? And apparently, thanks to Lint123, JD, thanks JD, Jan David, for letting us know on Instagram that there's actually a unit called a butt, which equals 126 imperial gallons or 2 hogsheads.
2 hogsheads, meaning
Yeah.
1 hoghead is
Yes,
butt
is
cheek.
one
Right.
one hogshead is
Two.
typically 63 gallons.
Right.
So a butt is 126 gallons. The butt comes from the word bot, which is Italian for cask or barrel.
Wow.
So that's where that comes from. So
Food for
I know
thought.
more about buttloads now than I ever
I
did before.
guess it's botte. I don't know.
Botte?
So buttloads of
botte.
action is
Botte.
exactly 126 metric gallons of
Oh,
action.
imperial gallons.
Imperial gallons
yeah,
of
yeah.
action.
Yeah.
So now you know.
Now you know.
So
Thanks,
then,
smarter.
Lint 123.
Thank you.
Are you sure it's
Jan
123?
David.
It's 134.
I know.
You're butchering your friend's
I'm
screen.
sorry, man.
There's like some guy out there in Tennessee going like, "Hey, what did I do?"
Yeah.
Earl. He has a revenge plot against me now. Anyway, let's talk about what we're going to talk about today on the show. Thank you, Lint. So we're going to go over things going on in the geek universe. We're going to talk about a little bit of Game of Thrones. And most importantly, we're going to talk about Captain Marvel.
Da-da-da. Yeah.
because that's a thing that came out.
Oh, before we get into that,
Yes.
shall we show everyone our shirts or describe our shirts?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So today we went to watch Captain Marvel,
The three of us.
and well, do you
we
want to tell the
open
story?
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, we were watching. Well, after we watched Captain Marvel, we saw these shirts, and they were on sale for half off at the movie theater.
And they
so
say,
they decided to buy them. I didn't decide to buy one because I had to be contrarian, but they bought one.
Hunter
And-
Warrior.
It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah.
I wore my Lord of the Rings shirt because
Yeah.
we will touch briefly on Lord of the Rings today too.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yes.
Yes.
And Hunter Warrior that's a reference from Battle Angel Alita.
Right.
For those of you who don't know.
I haven't seen it yet. I mean, I totally saw it.
He's wearing the shirt. He's an imposter.
Yeah.
Poser.
Anyways,
Okay.
so we're starting off with.
We are starting off with Captain Marvel. Just
Yeah.
well, it's kind of crazy. Well, you know who Captain Marvel is and what the movie is. It's the superhero movie starring Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, who may be the savior of the MCU come Infinity War time.
Which is just next month.
Yeah, crazy next month, right?
Really next month?
Yeah, we looked it up.
Infinity Wars
Endgame.
Endgame.
Yeah. But it's kind of crazy that there's all these people talking about it, like how it's going to do poorly and stuff. But this weekend it made 455 million global
not
box
bad.
office.
Yeah.
Not
yeah.
bad, Captain Marvel.
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, we're going to talk about it a little more in depth later on. But we do have some other news on the LOTR end.
Oh, LOTR. end.
Loader.
Yes.
That's right. So Amazon, as you may know, has released news that it's going to be making a new TV series in the world of Lord of the Rings.
Right, right.
Now, new news has been leaked that the series will take place in the Second Age. So Lord of the
What?
Rings, as we know it through the movies, Peter Jackson movies, that takes place in the Third Age, where Sauron has already risen to power, the Rings of Power have been made, and now Frodo and Sam are off to destroy the ring in Mordor. So let's just backtrack a little bit. The world of Lord of the Rings starts with the First Age, of course, with the
Right.
creation of the world. It's like the genesis of the entire world. Eru says, "Let it be," and it was. Kind of derivative.
Sounds like a creation myth.
I know.
Sounds like a creation.
The
myth.
cultures have those creation myths.
I think so.
Maybe.
Oh, okay. Just
This
making
one
sure.
does.
Yeah, maybe it's universal. Who
Right,
knows?
right.
So we have Eru. He creates the world, and then in the Second Age, what happens is there is the island of Numenor, which is created
Right.
by the gods or the powers that be as a gift to man that gives birth to man, and that entire continent of men basically goes south very, very quickly, and that all happens during the Second Age. Now, of course, since it happens in the Second Age, fan theories about Aragorn or young Aragorn are disproved because, like, he wasn't alive during this time. So we're going to count on new heroes appearing this time around. Hopefully, we'll see some of the OG human man
Right.
romance with elven female in
Totally.
Baron and Luthien.
Baron Luthien.
That's
Nice.
yeah.
Those were the
I think that's what
Right.
everybody really wants to see.
They want to see that. I mean, like, I'm
Yeah.
more so looking forward to, we got to see something that's as emotionally impactful and as accessible as Frodo was for us.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Because that's what made Lord of the Rings so special, was that there was this entire mythos that was accessible to us from, like, somebody who didn't feel completely up to the task, and we could identify with them. So I'm really curious to see who our hero is going to be.
Do you know, Jen, if is Peter Jackson in any way associated with this project?
I'm not
Or
sure about
is
that.
th-
I
this
don't
is
know.
like a
I don't-
totally
no, I
different
don't.
thing?
Yeah, I have no
I
idea.
think they got the rights to it, and then they're doing something else. 'Cause
Okay.
I don't know if
It's not like
Peter
he
Jackson
he
owns
doesn't
it.
own Lord of the
Right.
Rings.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see who the writers and directors are going to be for this
Same
series.
here. I don't think
really
they've-
want to know.
I think they said that. I think there
Did they?
was.
Did they
yeah.
mention?
It
Maybe.
says so in the article.
Guillermo del Toro. I mean, no, I don't know.
I
Yeah,
wish.
imagine he's
He
one of the
w-
directors. Yeah.
He was attached to
would pay-
Hobbit for a
He
long
would pay
time.
That's
too much
right.
sympathy to the monsters, I think.
Oh, true.
As long as we get some Hugo Weaving up in there, some Elrond, yo.
Elrond. Oh yeah, Hugo Weaving. Hugo Weaving is gonna be.
Is he attached to the project?
Well, I mean, he's alive during.
Right,
The Second
That's
Age.
true. So they
He
might
is
get
in the
him.
battle.
Isildur,
where
cast the ring
Isildur-
into the fire.
Exactly. We may see that
Yeah, yeah.
actually.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
all up. I'm down for that.
I'm excited. And now this is an Amazon series, or
Amazon series.
oh, I need to get Amazon.
Oh,
Say I got you. What's
forgot
up?
to mention the Dwarven Kingdom.
Oh
Are
yeah,
going to be standing.
right. Yeah. The one that we see burnt or like completely deserted in The Hobbit.
Right. Exactly.
Gotcha.
Um,
It's gonna be exciting.
yeah,
I can't.
it's gonna be magical.
Really? Yeah.
You know what else is gonna be magical?
What is?
Star Wars Land.
Oh. And crowded.
Yeah, it's gonna be super crowded. But I mean, they released some footage from what's gonna be happening at Star Wars Land. If you don't know, is a new attraction that's opening up at Disneyland in Anaheim, California. There's gonna be a Millennium Falcon. I think that's the most important thing, and you're gonna be able to pilot the Millennium Falcon. Overall, the place is gonna be called Galaxy's Edge. So it's going to be a huge. I'm going to stop myself. It's going to be
Huge buttloads.
there's going to be a buttload of people there. Like,
So 26 or 163
126,
gallons.
yeah.
Imperial gallons.
of
people.
What makes a gallon imperial? I still don't know.
I think that person just wanted to.
Imperialism? Is that
Yeah.
how it became like?
It just
that's
sounds
probably how it
fancier.
was coined.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, it
Hog's
absolutely
head.
was. I think we're on the imperial system, and right.
The
But
world runs on
when is Star Wars Land coming?
It's opening later this year.
Oh really?
Yeah. So
People have been flying like drones and aircraft over the site where it's being built.
Trying
just
to-
to
Spy?
sneak looks of the
The Millennial Falcon.
The Millennium Falcon. They're like,
Mechanical
"Ooh, Now it's
Falcon."
almost built. Ooh, now it's almost done.
Mechanical Falcon. more
Mechanical
like, yeah.
Falcon.
you know, I kind of have a grudge against Star Wars Land.
Why?
Because they built Star Wars Land, they're taking all of that space up. They closed one of my favorite attractions at the park.
Which was?
It's the Big Thunder Ranch barbecue restaurant. I know that's not technically
I was like, what?
that's not technically
Is
an
that an
attraction,
attraction?
but
It was an attraction.
That
of
was
Earl.
Earl's
Yeah,
attraction.
That's Earl's attraction.
Was that like the place, your happy place where you go?
Do you not know about this place?
No, I
what's
do
it
not
called?
know about
What's
it.
it called?
The Big Thunder Ranch barbecue.
No, I don't even know that
Okay,
one.
what do they
It's
serve
an
there?
all-you-can-eat barbecue place.
Oh,
Oh,
in
God.
Disneyland. So they used to serve like ribs and chicken and Boston baked beans and corn and sausage.
That's nice.
Yeah, and it was all you can eat.
Aw.
Oh, I'm so sorry for
For
your
those
loss,
of you who
Earl.
can't see, Earl just had a really sad expression
I know.
come across his
He
face.
had, like, a
It was
seizure
forlorn.
and
It was
a-
very forlorn. Yeah.
Heart attack at the same time.
It's just, I had a lot of memories there. I know,
Well, I'm sorry. Rest in peace, barbecue
Yeah,
grill.
but eventually I'm gonna make my way to the Galaxy's Edge. It'll be
Yeah,
fun.
yeah. It's okay.
But we should do a field trip.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just like hit up
And
Harry
let-
Potter
and let
World
our
and
producer pay for
Galaxy's Edge.
I know. What's the day pass?
Come
now?
with us, you guys.
Yeah, yeah,
$1
yeah.
million.
Come with us. Or pay for us. Who knows?
Or pay even
Maybe you
better.
like us enough.
Pay for your favorite hosts.
Whoa.
And we can go to DCA.
So only Earl gets to go.
Oh,
No,
wow.
I was talking about us. Your favorite.
I see.
I am
podcast
so
host.
not the favorite
It's like
host.
pick your favorite out of us and just take one of us.
I think Walter's the favorite host.
Oh yeah, that's why he's not here.
Yeah.
So that's why none of us
He
are
gets
going to
leaves.
So no one's tuning
Right.
in.
He gets leaves of absence.
This is a day of great sorrow today.
I know. It's all right.
Anyways.
You know what else? At Disneyland, there's also California Adventure, and they had another closed attraction, which was the Aladdin show.
Oh, but that was a while ago.
Yeah, it
it's
was a
been
while ago.
years.
But we're gonna get a live action movie soon,
Oh,
and the trailer dropped today.
That
was
trailer
amazing.
did drop today. We're gonna discuss it in a second once my phone complies,
oh really?
because my phone carries all my thoughts and opinions.
Oh yeah. Of course.
Yeah. So that thing happened.
That was super exciting. I was really
Right.
Okay, so just to give you guys some context, maybe like 30, 40 minutes ago, a bunch of us were gathered in the green room in this building, and we decided to watch the Aladdin trailer together. And I wish someone had taken a reaction recording,
video, right.
because me and Jen were just squeeing.
Well, you were squeeing. I was like tearing up.
Oh, all right. Jen was being emotional, and I was like, I couldn't contain myself because, in the last part of the trailer, I don't know if it's the actual actress who's playing Jasmine, but someone is belting out a whole new world, Broadway style. And it got my, my veins coursed with nostalgic Disney fire.
Because she herself, Kaitlyn, is also
The secret
a
fire.
Broadway-style singer.
Stop. I almost took a hiatus from college to be in the Aladdin show because I was up to play Jasmine.
Oh, what?
This was like 10 years ago. And I always got called back, and I never quite made it. But anyways.
Big mistake.
Yeah,
So now
they
you
always
get to
gave it
live
to some white girl.
vicariously.
Really?
I'm serious. It always went to some white girl, and then they would put bronzer on her to make her look more tan or something like that.
God.
Yeah.
So they put her in brown
Yeah.
face.
Oh, yeah. No. Also, during like the final rounds of callbacks, you would have to lift up your shirt, and they would take
no.
a picture of your tummy to see if it was flat.
No,
I can't make
no,
this
no.
up. No,
That's gross.
they
as
wanted to
hell.
see your tummy if you had bread rolls or something, because Disney heroine can't have bread rolls.
No.
And I was really nervous because I had like one, so I had to, I was trying to like work out. It was bad.
This is so
It was
damaging.
really
Sounds
sad,
like a dark,
This is really disturbing.
but
dark
anyways,
time.
But
Yeah.
Aladdin,
I'm really glad that in this movie, she
Yeah.
actually is
she's covered up.
Right.
Yeah, she doesn't
it's
look
a
like
bit
she's
more
like
period.
buxom Playboy princess.
Right,
She's more
right.
of like
It
a
looks
young
a little more
teen.
traditional. Yeah.
Right.
Young teen in fancy clothing.
Right.
Jeez.
This film Aladdin is being directed by Guy Ritchie.
This is Guy Ritchie?
This is Guy Ritchie. Yeah.
Like Sherlock
believe it or not,
Holmes?
Sherlock Holmes guy.
Wow.
Yeah. It stars Naveed. I'm gonna screw this up. Naveed Nagaban as the Sultan, who in my opinion is kind of a good looker. Even though Jafar's supposed to be like 60,
Oh,
right?
right, right.
They aged him down for Hollywood standards. Frank Welker will return as the voice of Abu.
Oh.
Frank
Abu does
Welker
have
was
a
a
voice.
boo?
Yeah.
Megatron was a boo? No way.
Yeah. Jafar, the hottie, will be played by Marwan Kenzari. Naomi Scott, who is a newcomer, is playing the lovely Princess Jasmine. And finally, Mena Massoud plays Aladdin.
Right.
And then, we've got to talk about that first look of the genie,
Right.
played
In
by
motion.
none other than Will
Will
Smith.
Smith.
The Fresh Prince himself.
What did you
Right.
guys think about it?
The trailer as a whole?
about
Sure.
him?
Well, I was going to say there was some mixed reviews when the teaser came out about
Right.
the appearance of the genie, but now we're seeing in the trailer that his appearance does change a bit. It looks a bit more normal, right?
Right.
Jed looks skeptical.
No, but I mean, like when the images first came out,
Yeah,
it looked
yeah,
like
yeah.
he had this strange pony, strange goatee. There
Which
were
is still there.
a little too many baubles on his facial and hair.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was just
yeah.
a little odd, but I think they
Uh-huh.
toned it down.
It
a
looks
bit.
like they toned it
I
down.
mean, the guy's already blue. Like, what else can you do to normalize him?
Earl, what do you think?
Make him bluer. I
We have Avatar for that.
know,
We
right?
don't need any more.
I don't know. It looks like it might be a cool film, but I've been fooled by trailers before.
We
I
all
don't know,
have.
yeah.
That's the whole point.
Right.
Trailers are there to make you believe the movie is much better than it
Right.
actually is.
I'm reserving my judgment.
Okay.
But yeah. I hope they stay like in the Arabian Peninsula and not conflated with other parts of the world, which
Sometimes it happens.
happens.
Yeah.
So
Do you guys get hit by nostalgia when you see these live action Disney trailers?
I kind of do.
Some people feel like they're unnecessary and it's just one big money making gimmick.
Oh, I believe that 100%.
Yeah.
I actually get kind of tired out by like what I call sequel culture.
Me
Right,
too.
right,
Like
right.
Me too.
banking out on all these things that were
Or reboot
nostalgic to us
culture. Yeah.
Right.
because we are now the marketable demographic.
Millennials.
Exactly. We've all grown up, and we've all grown up with these, cultural items
Right.
that are now
Right.
being pushed towards us again. But they're not quite like the originals. You know what I mean?
Right.
I also described this to someone. I think it was you, Kaitlyn. I said like, "Oh, you grow up liking oranges, and then someone tries to sell you like an orange popsicle, and you're like, oh, okay, that's
It's kind
pretty
of
good."
the same.
And then you go like, "Oh, here's an orange lollipop." Like, oh, okay, that's reminds me. And then now you're getting like sold an orange freshener, air freshener, and you're like, this is so devoid.
And then
of
you'll
what it
start getting
originally
orange
was.
scented and flavored panties.
But I'm
because-
still gonna
Yeah.
buy it.
Right, Earl?
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
about that.
I know what's up. Edible. Did you say edible? No, you didn't.
I said edible
Edible
panties.
panties.
Sorry.
Edible panties. That's
What are
for
we
the
actually
after
saying?
the late night episode.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I just thought I'd bring that up because
totally.
there's some controversy about
Right.
Right, of course.
these remakes, whether
and,
they're necessary at all.
My kind of really big thing is, and this is gonna be the last thing I say, I guess, is that there's this weird need. It feels like you have to make a live action version to make something valid, which makes is animation lesser? I don't know.
Exactly. There's a great video on YouTube. I can send it to you guys, but it's talking about why do we assume that something needs a 3D remake in order to make it quote unquote legit?
Right.
What's wrong with the 2D medium? What's wrong with
yeah.
animation? There's a reason why they choose to animate these stories.
Right.
And especially when not to bag on the Lion King trailer or the teaser when that came out, but people are saying shot by shot by shot.
Right.
It was the same thing as the animated Circle of Life. So I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, like, it's not like you can remake the animation is the thing.
Right.
I mean, you can try.
You can try,
But why?
You wouldn't, because it's already a classic.
Exactly.
Well, something that I'm kind of, actually like wholeheartedly excited about is Game of Thrones.
Yes.
And there was we heard some news about the runtime of the first 2 episodes.
I heard each episode was going to be movie length, but they just released that these are only going to be like a little over an hour or something. Is that right?
Well, the first 2 are going to be about an hour. So
Okay, so like the regular,
that's
the
the
regular
same.
length.
yeah, it's going to be the regular. It's going to
span
be
of
the
time.
regular, right? The regular span of time, which is okay. I don't mind that at all.
There's how many episodes are going to be in this season?
Gosh, I think it's 7.
Oh, okay, yeah, because it's a
Yeah.
continuation. Oh,
6.
There was 7 in the previous season.
Right.
So this is a continuation of the last season.
Right.
So probably the last 4 episodes are going to be like almost like an hour and a half or something, if not a little
hope
longer.
so.
Hopefully.
Yeah, we got to
Because
go
if they're
end with a
all-
bang.
A lot of
Yeah.
story to cover.
If
Yeah.
it's like 6 episodes of 1 hour each, that'll be done very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to sustain the pleasure here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's also interesting because like the show has always followed like a 10 episode formula.
Right.
Was it? I
Right?
think it was, it was always,
It always,
and
like,
the climax was on episode
Gears up-
9.
exactly. It always like pumps up by 8, climax is at 9.
And then 10
and
is
then
like
10
the
leaves you on
denouement.
some kind of
Yeah.
cliffhanger
Yeah,
denouement.
yeah.
So it makes me wonder if it's just like a storytelling choice. If they just wanted that like long run, like a longer run time, so they had more story to tell in one chunk, as opposed to like breaking up into 10. I don't know.
I know that D&D or David Benioff and DB Weiss.
Oh,
Oh,
not Dungeons and
No,
Dragons.
I thought you were
not-
talking about Dungeons and Dragons. I know.
Not
I was
Dungeons
like,
and Dragons.
what?
You don't call him D&D? I
I
thought
call
I feel
them-
like, oh man, I
I
thought
call them
everyone
the
calls him
double
D&D.
D's.
Double D? What?
We call them edible panties.
Oh,
That's
no.
just I
Is
just
that-
got that from Bald Move or like,
not D&D. No, but D&D, they released a statement last year saying they always had planned for this entire series to be about 70 episodes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like, give or take, something like 70. No, not a lot more than that, because what they don't want, which is quite common, unfortunately, in a lot of American television, is that
Right.
to drag a story season by season by season when there's no more story to tell.
I know many series.
Well,
Yeah,
then.
I'm not gonna say which ones, but so they want to keep Game of Thrones like an intact
Right.
story, like one long narrative, kind
Which
of like
is
like Lord of the Rings,
Important. Yeah.
Yeah,
something like that.
I actually I prefer that as opposed to like having super long runs of series. Like
Just tell a good story,
Yeah.
Like there's
Right.
no need to. I hate when that happens.
same here.
You just start slowly.
The way that House devolved, I don't know if you guys
I
Oh,
didn't
I
really
didn't-
watch House.
yeah.
My brother did.
But towards the end, they included like musical, like song number breaks and things like that.
Wait,
in
what?
House.
In House?
Yeah, it was kind of strange.
Did they
That's
explain it as like a
disappointing.
drug fueled like
I think so, but it was just
Right.
like a canonical break. You
Oh,
know,
right.
And
it didn't
that's-
trust its own formula anymore.
Yeah.
which is sad.
Well, that's just people prolonging the story for the sake of prolonging a story. So,
Absolutely.
but Game of Thrones has been on since 2011, I want to say.
I think you're
Late
right.
2010,
Mhm.
2011. And that's, what, 8 years? They've had a good run.
They have.
And they've been extremely lucrative. The most lucrative TV show of all time, I want to
yeah,
say.
So
that
lucrative
is-
that the spin-offs are gonna come. They're gonna come hard.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Gonna come hard.
We're
I
so
can't
bad.
wait.
We're so bad.
Can't wait. Sorry.
I can't wait for them to come.
Can't wait for them to come hard.
Do we even need to say that that's what she said? Because we already both said it. That's what they both said.
Earl.
I don't know
so
what's going
sorry,
on today. Dildies, come hard. All right.
Anyway. So that happened.
To bring it all back, I think it's going to be an exciting season, and I'm looking forward to April. So.
Yeah.
Me too. I think someone suggested that as we start gearing up for Game of Thrones, as the release date approaches, we're gonna start taking bets or something about who's gonna live to the end.
Let's do it. Like a pool.
Someone had that idea.
Like,
yeah.
Like fantasy football, except with Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Like Fantasy
Yes.
Thrones.
Something like that.
Fantasy.
Yeah.
The
Oh, it was
Deadpool.
our producer.
Right, the
So
Deadpool.
before
Right.
that starts, we're gonna have to throw in or cast in our votes. Yeah, and then maybe we can open up to you guys, you listeners and viewers, or something
do
like
it.
that.
Yeah.
So we'll have that to look
Prizes
forward to.
and stuff. We'll come
Yeah.
up with things.
Yeah.
Well, on the comic book front, we have some news as well. There's a first Pinay hero in Marvel. If y'all don't know what Pinay means, it's a Filipino woman. Greg Pak. Kaitlyn, you have some.
Yeah, Marvel's newest Filipino superhero is named Wave. She's been described as Marvel as, quote, a mysterious new Filipino heroine, end quote. She was introduced earlier, I want to say, like last week or this week at South by Southwest, which is happening in Austin. Coincidentally, it was Women's International Day, so I think the information was released at a very appropriate time. But as you were saying, as Earl was saying, Greg Pak, the director, a film director and a writer for Marvel, basically tweeted out this image, and you guys, we can link it to you guys, but it's an image of this brown-skinned woman underwater with translucent, glowing insect-type wings, and she's also carrying these two swords, and she's gonna debut.
Swords.
Yeah. Some people are surmising that it could mean that she's versed in Filipino martial arts.
She's
Most
a screamador.
definitely. Most likely.
Something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
She's going to debut in something called War of the Realms, New Agents of Atlas, issue 1.
Right.
So what's going on is this heroine, Wave, is going to help save the world alongside new heroes from the Asian part of the world, like China. There's going to be someone named Arrow, someone named Swordmaster. There's just going to be like a whole bunch of new characters. They're going to kind of harness their superpowers together to fight against evil. And that is happening. So what do you guys think about that?
I think it's cool. I mean, they're going to also be joined by some mainstays of the Marvel universe.
Right. They're not just going to be their own separate.
Right.
They're all joining forces.
It's kind of like the Avengers and all that stuff.
Right. We
Yeah.
get some Shang-Chi action and some Amadeus Cho action. It's going to be awesome.
Amadeus Joe. We have a picture of him on our wall.
Yeah.
On our PanGeekery set. that
Right.
is.
I don't know. I think it's exciting. I super like the swords that she's wielding. It kind of looks like there's a Filipino weapon called a kampilan, which is it's shaped like that. It's a long sword, and then it doesn't have your traditional point. There's a point, and then it has a little hook.
Oof.
So it kind of looks like that.
You have one?
Yes.
Can you bring it?
Yeah.
I don't have one.
Do a demo. Do a demo.
I'm gonna cut my own head off.
Oh, no.
It's just.
Oh, God.
I'm not
We don't
that
want
good
that.
with blade. No.
Please no.
But I'm looking forward to it. It seems pretty cool.
What is the hook for? That seems like a really brutal fighting tactic.
I think like everybody surmised that it was like you slash at an enemy and then you pull it back. And
Oh.
then it's just more rippage.
To like
God.
More rippage.
like disembowel
It's
them.
more catch.
Yeah.
In addition to slowly killing them.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I think there are superpowers. Now, for your guys' information, there have been no definitive facts published about this character yet.
Right.
But some people are surmising that since the picture that was tweeted is underwater, she's going to have water powers or something like that. Maybe she can control or harness sea animals. These are just some theories
Right.
floating around out there.
I mean, the
Her name's
Philippines
Wave.
are-
Yeah, and the
yeah.
Philippines is a marine country,
Right.
so
Get some Namor up in here.
yeah.
Submariner.
Mariner, yeah, sorry. But yeah, so that's interesting. I think it's great that Marvel is including so many different heroes from all these different backgrounds
Right,
and
I think it's cool.
cultures.
I think they might also be making up for the times that they didn't have those heroes, you know? Like,
Right.
Yeah.
all these agents coming out from Atlas and Asia are kind of going like,
yeah.
hey, the largest continent in the world, we forgot about
Not
them, but
represented.
we're going to put them in now.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, about time, right?
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
it'll be cool.
We have
Very
Miles
exciting.
Morales now, and
I was
that
gonna
was
say,
an incredible
That was
movie.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
And my dumbass, I didn't know that all the characters in that film were already existing Marvel
Right.
characters with their own with their
Silk.
own series.
The different
Yeah,
iterations of
So
Spider-Gwen.
Jen
Spider-Man.
told me,
Yeah.
yeah. My thought was, this is random as hell. And then
Right,
Jen was
why
like,
is there a pig?
you know, these are actual characters, right?
They're
I was
canon.
like, oh, okay, that makes sense. They're canon, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of actual canon characters, we did watch the newest MCU movie, Captain
Captain
Marvel,
Marvel.
today. It was cool. I don't know what else to say. I guess we that sounded unconvincing.
Yeah.
But I mean, we
It was cool.
it was cool.
It was cool.
Oh yeah, let's
Go
try it
down.
with different
The upper
inflections.
It was
inflection.
cool.
Maybe people would believe it. But I honestly thought it was cool. I found myself crying actually at various points. I felt that, okay, spoilers ahead. Please don't listen
Are we
further.
allowed to say
if we're-
spoilers? Rodney?
Well, it's been out, so.
We can say spoilers, right? Just. All right.
Okay,
So
All right,
our
so-
producer had just spoken.
what
Fair
did our
warned,
producer
everyone.
just say in case?
Our producer said, we are going to say some spoilers. since
Spoilers.
We're going to go in depth.
So we are going to say spoilers.
Spoilers.
Okay.
All right. So I found it really, really emotionally impactful when the scenes with the friend, what was her friend's name again? Back in the Air
honestly
Force.
don't remember the friend's name.
Yeah, we just saw it today, but I'll probably look this up later. But the scenes with her, I felt really grounded Carol as a character. Because prior to that, it felt a little bit unmoored with all business on...
Right. Like
on
exposition,
Hala.
On Hala.
exposition.
Right. All exposition with the Kree. And the Kree seem like kind of a emotionally aloof society. They're all business all the time. So we didn't get to access, I feel, Carol's character until we meet her human timeline and
I
her
agree.
human
I agree.
comrades.
Should we have someone briefly explain kind of like the synopsis?
Right.
Especially since
Yeah.
last week we talked about how the trailer doesn't really give much away. Like,
Sure.
Earl.
So, well, it starts off Captain Marvel, who's Carol Danvers. She doesn't know she's Carol Danvers. She gets in a plane wreck. She gets picked up by an alien race called the Kree and trained by them to become a fighting machine, a hero. And we see through a series of flashbacks how she gets to remember her former life. That's basically the premise of the film without spoiling tons of stuff. So, and
although
she's
we
a
are
hero.
allowed to spoil.
Although we are allowed
We
to.
are allowed to
I
spoil
just
it.
feel
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah.
But she's a superhero in the Marvel universe, super badass. Yeah, I can't say anymore.
Her powers are actually really, really
Yeah.
compelling. I
Right.
really liked her powers, and I love the way that they were visually designed. I felt that it was almost like she was harnessing the power of like a supernova. You know, all
Yeah.
the light shapes around her, like when she ascends for the first time in the full strength of her power, they look a little bit like the
Solar
way
Corona.
the way that a black hole sucks up a star. You know, you could see the ends coming in, almost like an event horizon. So
Yeah.
it was cool. I like the design of that.
Yeah.
There's lots of like super just badass moments. Like that part where she comes in like full power for the first time, and it's like,
Zam.
damn.
Carol.
Damn, Carol.
Damn. I don't know. Did you have any initial thoughts, Caitlin?
I don't know. I think in my head I hyped it up to be on par with what I felt Wonder Woman was, but
Right.
Wonder Woman had the advantage of being an origin story, and I do think that a lot of audience members especially a lot of newcomers to franchises tend to like origin stories because you're getting introduced to the world alongside the character. And the way this particular film started was kind of interesting. You meet her as an alien on a hala. She's fully assimilated into the Kree, has no memories of her past human life. So you're kind of gearing up for what feels like a sci-fi adventure type film, and then all of a sudden they very quickly skim through these human memories that she has in her brain after she's caught by the Skrulls, right? The
Skrulls.
shapeshifter race,
Yep.
the Skrulls. And then you realize, wait a minute. She had this whole life back on Earth, and then we revisit that. And for me, because of that, a lot of things feel a bit disjointed. We go back to the year 1995, and they show that by, as soon as she lands on Earth, you see Blockbuster.
Wow,
And
what
then-
a difference.
Yeah, and they're playing all these like 90s R&B.
Right.
I was like,
All
we
is
get
playing.
it.
Yeah.
Oh,
You guys
yeah,
are in the 90s.
Salt and
Yeah.
pepper.
Yeah, with like slow internet speed.
I know.
The
They have
best friend's
modern
got
sound.
the TLC hair.
Right. Maria Rambo is her name. The
Oh,
character.
okay, right,
How
right,
could I
right.
forget Maria Rambo?
Maria Rambo.
Yeah, I think Jen earlier said that she cried, and I know I shed a tear. There's a particular scene where Carol she's being, there's a monologue by the friend,
Right.
Maria Rambo, saying, what was she
She
saying?
essentially tells Carol what
Yeah.
she is.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
Carol has this moment of like existential
Questioning,
crisis where
right.
she goes,
Yeah.
if I can't remember who I am, and if everybody else is telling me a version of myself that I know not to
Yeah.
be true, then I don't know how to present myself or how to move forward or
Right.
what to believe.
Uh-huh.
And her friend basically tells her, even before all this, before you had powers, you were still Carol Danvers and you're my friend.
Yeah, she's
You
reminding
are
her of
a really fierce pilot. You're basically her comrade from those times they had in the Air Force, and that she reminds her of somebody that she forgot herself to be.
right.
basically.
Briefly, Jen went out to, I guess, I assume like take a pee or something in the bathroom. I thought she was not feeling the movie.
Everyone, you guys needed to hear about this?
I
you
do
took
need
a pee break during the
She
movie.
had to urinate during the film.
There is a.
I thought she was not feeling it. I was like, dang, Jen just got up and left. She like
No.
ran away.
Look, I'm known
But-
for being opinionated, but I would not walk out.
But you missed there's a part in the film where Maria's daughter comes out
Right.
and she's showing pictures to Carol and saying,
No, I saw that part.
oh, you did see that part?
I
Okay,
did.
okay, I was
She
just
missed
wondering.
the
Don't misplace my
initial
urination
Oh,
event.
sorry. Okay, my bad.
urination event.
She was saying like, you didn't get along with your dad, but we became your family.
Right.
It's
that
just stuff
part.
like that, and I feel like if they had really concentrated more on that friendship with the best
Right.
friend, it would have been more powerful. I would have cared more. But that was a great scene, though, the one you're talking about.
That makes me almost think that they were. I don't know if they were scared or if they just didn't want to take that chance of like making it wholly about that relationship.
I understand. There's so
Right.
much story to unpack.
Right.
Right. And they have to link this up to Infinity War.
Right. That's.
I mean, they have to explain why Nick Fury would page Captain Marvel at the very end. Like,
Yeah.
how is she going to be like the ace in the hole when
Right.
it comes to winning the war against Thanos?
Right.
Exactly. And that's why, like, I mean, we could get into, like, for me, like, what is, like, a fundamental issue with these MCU films, but because everything is, I know,
Open it up,
I
Caitlin.
know.
I'll
Open
just
it up,
say it.
I don't have to like everything,
The
right?
box is half
Oh, no,
unwrapped.
you don't.
Might
Okay,
as well
the
throw it all
Jimmy
the way
John's
open.
box is open.
But we can talk about these things because they are cultural touchstones.
Okay, all right.
Right.
And
we're
we're here for a
Well,
reason.
I'll start, and you guys tell me what you think.
yeah.
I'm not a big fan of these Marvel films. I'll just say it. You
Right.
know, I a couple months back, a friend of mine who's obsessed with Marvel had me see the first MCU Hulk film, the first Hulk, the one
The
with
one with Edward Norton.
with Edward Norton,
Right.
and everyone was like, "Oh, this one sucks." I watched it and I was like, "Hey, this is not a bad movie." I actually liked the movie. You know why? Because it felt like a normal movie. Sorry, I'm not supposed to touch this thing. And I got
She just
excited.
really
I
loves
just got
grabbing her mic.
It was just, I was like, they weren't trying to do too much. They
Right.
weren't trying to crack all these funny jokes, ha ha ha. They weren't trying to put in too many explosions and, battles and special effects and meet this guy and meet that guy and meet this chick. And I'm like, it was just a standard, straightforward film.
Right.
And now that the MCU has gotten so convoluted with this person needs to meet that and this storyline needs to coincide with that, we need to save the world with the Avengers, it just feels like, I don't know, like it just feels like McDonald's or candy instead of good food for the soul.
Well, there's a canned
Instead of an
formula, is what you're
Outback
saying.
Steakhouse.
Yeah, and I
don't
just
know.
can't take it seriously.
It's essentially made billions off of this formula. that
Right.
I am
it's
aware.
like a-
I guess it works.
there are parts of it that work, definitely. And like there
Yeah.
are parts of us that, I mean, there's a reason why people go to McDonald's on the daily.
those
right?
green
It's
cheeseburgers.
that same kind of
Yeah,
logic. There's a
like-
reason why it
Right.
appeals.
Yeah.
I think to piggyback on that, I think it's kind of devolved into that where it's like, and I don't think it's just MCU movies. I think filmmaking in general has devolved into that, where it's like,
Please don't say
I hope
that. That's so
not.
sad.
really
Yeah.
hope
I mean, when we're
I think it's the franchises,
the
that
franchises
you're talking about. They're getting
right,
so
the
huge.
big like
yeah.
tentpole films. I mean, even when watching like Fantastic Beasts,
I was gonna say that.
same
Harry
thing.
Potter.
and
Yeah.
it was just like, and we have to show all this stuff,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
That's no need.
you don't have to. You don't really have to.
Yeah.
I don't mind a slower movie, but again,
Right.
I'm not the majority of people, I
But
guess.
it brings up the question, like, what's more important, telling a
Right.
good story or making a buttload of money? You know what I mean?
126
It's-
imperial
I mean,
gallons of
If you're going to be
money.
making art in a capitalist world, it's going to be
It's gonna
have money
be the
stamped
money,
all
yeah.
over.
Right.
And
Of
like
course.
I think what you're saying is also like they're taking every little small nuance that used to be like Easter eggs in the originals and now broadening on them horizontally rather than vertically,
Right.
you know, so that things become more like advertisement about details
Yeah.
than it is about like character studies.
Yeah.
Or it is about like quality of story.
And I'll go ahead and say it. Harry Potter's doing it. Star Wars is doing it. The
Right.
Pirates franchise did it. They just want to sell those figurines, you know.
It's true.
And it's to the detriment of, in my opinion,
Of story.
Of the
what
film,
made the
right.
films great in
No,
the first
absolutely.
place. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's just
I
I
don't
don't,
tend to
want
like
to
sequels.
rain on your guys' parades.
No.
I know
No.
you
Not
guys
at all.
liked the film.
I still love Marvel
enjoyed
movies.
it for
like,
what it was. I think,
Okay.
Yeah.
I think like I would have preferred more of her human backstory, like
yeah.
the way that you suggested, but I still overall walked out of it enjoying the movie
Okay.
and enjoying the hero.
Same here.
Yeah. What did you guys like the most about it? Like, if you could kind of just pinpoint.
It feels strange to admit, but I kind of like that she wasn't as bombastic or charismatic or as big as the other Marvel characters
It
have
was
been.
right.
She
Like
was
she's
just a
more-
normal human being
Okay.
who was more sarcastic and gung-ho about doing the right thing. And she didn't necessarily have to like be so Robert Downey Jr.
Right.
You know,
She
she
didn't have
didn't
to be a
have to be
rock
the
star.
next
Right.
Gotcha.
Deadpool. She
Okay,
didn't
okay.
have to be, you know, a hero of character. She just was somebody who did heroic things.
I like that. I think I pretty much agree with that.
Yeah.
Not every hero has to be the center of attention in their lives, their own
right.
lives.
The Ryan Reynolds of every story.
Right. It's fine. Heroes come in like from every walk of life. So it's kind of cool that we see even then like a diversity of kinds of personalities
Yeah.
within a base of heroes. So I
yeah,
think that was cool.
Yeah. I think what would have really deepened the story for me is if we had seen more vulnerability in her or like see a moment where she cracks because something of value or investment to her.
You're right.
Has
They didn't have
been-
that. They didn't have
they
that
didn't really
dark
have
night of the
something-
soul moment.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
There usually is.
Right. I think because she was so confused as to what her origin and her identity was.
Or maybe Jen, they just didn't have time. They had to meet all the requirements of the MCU.
there were so many hoops to jump through.
so
I
many
know.
hoops to jump through. Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
have time for the most important.
I know.
parts
I
of
know
the
that the
story.
movie tried to comment on so many, on different modes of oppression that women feel in society.
Yeah.
you
It
know?
totally did. Yeah.
And it definitely, harkened to like those lessons we learn about, growing up as a woman
Yeah.
and how it feels to be oppressed.
Wait. Actually,
But-
I think there was a moment like that
Mhm.
when she's in the simulation talking to Annette Bening.
Uh-huh.
Remember?
Right.
And then
True.
they're like,
I guess
she's
so,
yeah,
yeah,
she's like,
yeah.
what are you gonna do? You can't do
Yeah.
anything. You can't destroy me.
Right.
And then she's like, you're just a human. And then she has the memory. She's like, I am a human. And
Her
then she
getting
remembers
up
all
from
the
all
times
the-
she got.
Yeah.
Okay, I did
was
like that
freaking
part.
awesome.
I
That
did
was
like that
so
part.
good.
They did
I like
a
that part.
flashback of all the times. They showed early in the film all the times that she got shat on as a woman, even as a young girl.
Hold on. All the
Shat
time she's
upon.
fallen down.
Not literally shat
Let's
on.
say that.
That's
She was
gross.
not shat on multiple times in her
You
life.
could edit this episode and just like turn us into these monsters. You really could.
But yeah, and then
and then all the times she's gotten back up are
every
also
single time
shown.
they show her getting back up.
It was a very nice montage.
I
It
think
was
that was
very,
the
very
moment. Yeah, that was
heartwarming.
good. That was good. Yeah,
Right.
and then she's able to overcome the simulation.
Yeah.
So I think there was that.
Yeah,
it was
that
a small
that
one.
was her
yeah.
big hero moment.
That was her heroic moment. Yeah,
Right,
It
right.
was because that's when
She gets
she
her
fully
full powers.
yeah, she
and
gets her full powers.
She takes
yeah.
out the piece that was used to weigh her down.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I
Right.
assume are like Harrison Bergeron style, like mind
Yeah.
shackles or something.
Mind check.
I did like that part. I
like
like
that
the part where they show that she gets up.
Yeah, yeah.
It reminds me of you guys ever see Zootopia
Mhm.
with the
I've not
bunny
seen
rabbit? Oh
Yeah.
my God, Earl,
I
you're
know,
a
I'm
voice
like-
actor. Watch Zootopia. It's so
Wait,
good.
What
seen
did the
the
bunny rabbit do? in
sloth
The
part.
bunny
Zootopia?
rabbit in the prologue when she's just a little girl, a little bunny.
Right.
The bully, the fox.
Right.
She's like, I want to be the first bunny cop, and then the fox, like
Scratches her
scratches
face.
her face, like, but really like
Oh.
scratches her face,
Mhm.
and she's like starting to cry, and you think like, well that's the end of that dream,
Right.
Mhm.
and then he walks away, and she gets up, and her friends are like, are you okay? And she's like, he was right about one thing. I don't know when to give up. And then you're like, and then they show a montage of her becoming a cop as an adult.
Right,
And I
right.
was like, oh, I think girls need that message, you know?
It's very true. Right.
Because girls need to be told, like, don't give up. Like, you got to stand up. And
Of course, yeah. And I do love that they unapologetically featured women in just roles of authority without
Mhm.
questioning it.
yeah, there is
Absolutely.
no commentary even about
Because
it.
you know that
there's
happens
no need to.
in the military. You know that happens in the
Yeah.
world. I mean, according to Brie Larson, who has in many interviews said, like, actually, this should not be such noteworthy material that it's female led because
Right.
that
Yeah.
should actually be the norm.
Right. And there's no love interest. Did
Which
you
was
guys notice
awesome.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought for a hot second
That
they were
Jude
gonna
Law
do
might
some
have
Jude
been-
Law, like mentor,
I mean-
sexy
There's some
enemy lover
flirtation.
shit. Yeah,
There's
I mean,
something-
he
I thought
definitely
there
on
was.
his part, he was like trying.
I feel like
yeah.
was like negging her or something
Yeah.
in the beginning, and I was like,
He was
oh,
all
it's
about
gonna
it in the
happen.
beginning.
Yeah, but
Part of the revelation that when she comes into her full power and then she and Jude Law's character have that final face off
yeah,
was really juicy for me
Uh-huh.
because I wanted to see his ego buckle.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
yeah.
I wanted to see him like give in to the full force of actually this person who I've like secretly tortured for so long
Yeah.
and kept away from herself like is actually showing up and like besting me.
Yeah, they could have actually.
You
I think they
know?
could have milked that more.
They should
They
have.
They would have been more satisfying
because they did have an emotional connection.
and they have a
you know?
history together.
have a
And then she just
history.
punches him and sends him on his merry way.
I
you
like
know?
that connection because I think they actually have a much more complex relationship than simply mentor and
Yes,
student.
and
Absolutely.
they should have
They-
explored that.
I think they should have
It
explored
would have been
some of
so much
that.
better. Yeah.
Yeah.
So next on the table, we should re-edit the movie. We should
Yeah,
just-
let's just put the friend scenes and the
Yeah,
origin story.
yeah.
at
I
the
think they make a
beginning.
much better, maybe not as lucrative, but much more artistically satisfying version.
Which in the end is a nutritious meal and not simply
Exactly.
McDonald's.
Who needs McDonald's? Too many of
Brought
them
to you
out
by
there.
Jimmy John's, everyone.
We need more of a Jimmy John's.
right.
We need some of
Yes.
that Jimmy John's touch.
A bootlegger,
Freaky
roast
Friday.
beef and turkey. Mm.
$10 box
Yeah.
lunch.
I'm still thinking about that, but I mean the sandwich.
Are you?
Okay.
Maybe. Was I thinking about that while you were
Get with the
talking about it?
program.
Maybe
No.
this will be your new barbecue house.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what is it?
Star Wars.
Thunderdome barbecue?
Mad Max
not even
Barbecue
close.
House. I know. Big Thunder Ranch.
That sounds so like raunchy.
It
Hey, you
does.
making your way down a Big Thunder Ranch? Like,
We got prize heifers here.
I'm glad they closed down, you guys.
Oh no,
Sorry, Earl.
we gotta keep Earl out of his biggest
Oh
vices.
no. Gosh.
Anyways,
Uh,
so yeah,
yeah.
that happened.
That did happen. Do you guys notice on the
Yeah,
for
we
all
never
our
pointed it out.
Video viewers, we have the one ring at the center of our table.
Yes.
Rule them all.
One
Yeah.
ring to rule them all.
Is this
I
yours,
have
Earl?
Sauron
It
on
is
my
mine.
shirt.
You gonna wear it? Oh, but you don't want to harness the power of the ring.
exactly.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right.
I
exactly.
would
Best
fail.
keep it there.
Of course.
I would
Yeah.
not be able to resist its temptation.
Oh. Okay. Good.
Yeah, I'm
Can
just
I also show our little Nazgul?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We finally took it out of the box this time.
This is our mascot.
We're just showing off set pieces now from our PanGeekery
Right.
set.
Right.
I'm holding a miniature of a ring wraith on a horse.
Nazgul.
Is this just
Nazgul.
any ring wraith, or is it like Witch
Is it-
King
oh,
of Anwar?
the king?
Oh.
It's not
I
the
think
Witch
it's just
King of
a
Anwar,
Nazgul.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and for those who can't see, it just looks really sexy and badass.
It's pretty cool.
Um,
Which we will get into, I mean, when we watch
start-
the Amazon
yeah, we're
series,
going-
because it's going to be in the second age where
yeah,
the ring
These
wraiths
guys
were
are actually
created.
alive, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's going to be interesting.
Can I
What
just
happened?
say, like, before the cameras started rolling, I was telling Earl here that my first, we'll conclude on this,
Okay.
my first sexual awakening
Oh, good.
as an 11-year-old, the first time I realized
Right, that's right.
I was attracted to an older man
Oh,
was when
no.
I was watching The Fellowship of the Ring in theaters and realizing that Strider was making me feel things.
That
like,
scene on Weathertop, you know?
well, yeah, when he
That
takes out the
was-
fire against the
that was
ring wraith.
Right.
Peak Vigo, man.
Yeah, but I didn't know it was okay to
Peak
be attracted to
Vigo.
older men. Like, I thought you're only supposed to like boys your own age. So I didn't tell anyone. But then my best friend, who's also into the Lord of the Rings, she said, "Boy, that Aragorn, he's so hot, isn't he?" And then I was like, "Oh, you too? You too? Okay, I don't feel so weird now."
I knew people that had like Legolas pins and like
Right.
binder folders filled with like colored pages, photographs
Of Orlando
them.
Bloom.
Of Orlando
Yeah,
Bloom
yeah.
as Legolas.
Dude, that moment
Yeah.
in was it Two Towers where he hops on the horse one-handed? Come on, that was bad.
Earl melted.
I know that
What
was
else
that was
can he
my
do with that
Weathertop
hand?
moment. That was my Weathertop.
That was his Thunderdome
Yeah.
for sure.
Arwen
Anyways.
Evenstar, come on.
Oh yes, Arwen.
Yes.
Yes.
Come and claim him. Oh, dude.
Come and claim me.
Come and claim me. Well, I think that somebody might have a game for us today.
Someone? Who?
Oh shoot, buckets. That's right. I'm supposed to be in charge of a game. Okay. All right.
All right.
It's
Caitlin's
gonna
dropping
happen.
the ball, everyone. I'm just kidding.
As I frantically look through my list here.
I'm gonna take a closer look at this Nazgul.
So have you guys ever heard of the game 10 Fingers?
No, what is
Like
that?
the drinking game?
Yes.
No.
Have you heard of Never Have I Ever?
Yeah.
Okay, so 10 Fingers is basically Never Have I Ever. We're gonna do a 10 Fingers version.
Okay.
Actually, let's
Okay.
make it 5 fingers because we don't have a buttload
Because I don't
of time.
have 10 fingers.
Yeah, well, we just don't have a ton of time, so we'll make it 5 fingers. I will say this is not going to be true necessarily, but the way it goes is I never have I ever seen, and I'm going to say as an example, Avengers: Infinity War.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? No, maybe we should make it 10 fingers because you guys have probably seen a number of Marvel films, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen a lot of Marvel films?
Yes.
Quite a number.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Maybe we should make it 15 fingers. Whatever. Let's make
I
it 10
don't
fingers.
have 15
Let's make it.
I know.
Let's make it 10 fingers.
I have
Okay,
20
okay.
digits.
Okay. Okay.
Alright.
Okay. Okay.
Let's decide on the fingers.
Right.
So if you have seen the film, you need to clap and put down a finger, and the
Okay.
person with the most fingers left wins.
Wins.
Okay.
You got it?
All right, cool.
Got it.
Okay. I really hope this
got this.
works.
It'll
I
work.
apologize.
We already
We'll
know
make
that
it work.
Caitlin is going to lose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, never have I ever seen Deadpool, the first film. So put your 10 fingers up.
Right.
Okay. So you start with 10 fingers.
10 fingers up.
Okay.
If you have seen Deadpool, clap and put down one finger. Shit. Okay.
Oh, like
Oh,
that.
Jen,
I thought you meant put it down on the table.
Jen just like stuck
Put
her
her
pinky on the
finger
table.
on the
No.
table.
I just put it down like a normal person. with one finger.
Put it down where?
Just
Like, where do I put
like
my
put down a
finger?
finger. Like what the hell?
Like on the floor?
She like put her finger down on the table as if we were gonna like touch
like
it or something.
No,
Heads up,
specify.
7
Yeah,
up.
I just, sorry. Just
Until
put
this
down
moment,
a finger.
I wasn't
Yeah.
sure
Right.
if I was
Yeah,
only
okay.
allowed to have 5
Okay.
fingers.
Okay, so you guys are tied. Dang, does it? Okay, so Rodney, does it have to be Marvel films? Can we like make it like the first 5 or Marvel and then open it up? Because like, okay, we're gonna do first like a couple Marvel,
Okay.
and then we'll do normal films.
All right, let's
Got
do
it.
normal films.
Okay, so never have I ever seen The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Ooh.
Oop.
Clap.
Clap and then finger down. Alfred Molina, yo.
So
No, I haven't seen
technically,
that.
Jen's winning. Believe it or not.
I'm proud anyway.
I know.
Wait,
Usually,
so-
it's. Yeah. So usually this game, the way this game works is like, oh, never ever done cocaine. So you're trying to win
Right.
by being the most innocent one. But in this
Oh.
case,
Yeah.
it's whoever has
no.
not seen as many movies.
Right.
Oh.
Okay. So you're fine, Jen. Okay.
Oh.
Next one. Never have I ever seen Electra. Remember that one?
I have not.
With
Jennifer Garner?
Jennifer Garner?
I haven't.
Not.
Yeah.
Did not
Oh,
watch that.
shit. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
wait,
Never have I ever seen the original X-Men.
What was the original
The
X-Men?
2000
2000,
film
yeah.
with Halle Berry and...
Oh, I have seen that. I have seen that.
Okay. All right. Never have I ever seen Thor: The Dark World.
I have seen that.
Wait, what is that?
That is the second.
That's the one with the
Thor
ether
film.
and Malekith.
That's the second, right? That's the second Thor
Yeah, the
film.
second
Yeah.
Thor.
Okay, I don't think I've kept up with the Thor films. I've only seen the first Thor. Okay.
Let's stay on this Marvel thing here.
Okay.
Never have I ever seen the new. Oh no, that's new. It's not coming. It hasn't come out yet. Never.
I've seen it.
No.
Let's just start clapping.
No.
Like,
Never have I ever seen Agent Carter, the show.
I have totally. I binge watched that.
oh man. Okay.
This is where I feel like Earl should be winning because he's
Yeah.
should we like switch it around? I hate to
Yo,
switch the gears in the middle.
Can't
No,
just
no,
like
no,
change
it's
the
all right.
rules.
Sorry, all
man.
right.
Yeah.
You could lie. I'm just kidding. All right.
Yeah.
Never have I ever seen Iron Man. Oh, I'm sorry.
Iron Man.
Never have I ever seen Item 47.
What?
I
What is
think
that?
that's a short from 2012.
Item
Oh.
47. That's the. It was a DVD
Item-
extra.
Yeah. Item 40. You
Oh
saw it too?
my
Oh, wow. Earl. Okay. Never
Wait.
have I ever seen Batman versus Superman. The
Well, that's okay.
Dawn of Justice, the
we're
2016
moving
one.
out of MCU.
Now we're moving into DC.
Yeah, sorry. Now we're doing DC now. Sorry, I didn't tell you guys.
Right?
Yeah.
I've seen.
Batman. So how many fingers do you have left, Earl?
I have 3.
And how many fingers do you have left, Jen?
I have 10 technically.
What do you mean technically?
Technically,
oh,
I
you
have
have
10
9.
fingers in my hands.
Okay.
No, I have 8. I have 8.
Okay.
Jeez.
Never have I ever seen the Incredible Hulk, the 2008 version with
Edward
Edward Norton, the one I did see.
actually have not seen it.
Me neither. I actually
Oh,
did not watch it.
shoot. Okay, let's keep going. Never have I ever seen Suicide Squad.
I didn't
I
see
did
it.
not watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys, I'm beating you. Okay. Never have I ever seen Iron Man 3. I did see that one.
I saw
Don't
that
remember
one.
anything about it.
What was
Yeah.
Iron Man 3?
That was one
The-
with Ben Kingsley,
What?
Mandarin.
I didn't even know there was a third one.
Yeah, and they had like all the suits
Yeah,
at the
there
end.
was a third one. Yeah.
Gwyneth Paltrow, like
Oh, was that the one where Spider-Man was introduced?
no,
No.
that
was a
was an
This one
Avengers
came out in
one.
2013.
Okay.
Okay.
no,
Never have I
no.
ever seen Ant-Man.
I have not seen it. No.
Earl's at
Gosh.
one finger.
I know. One left.
Finally, never have I ever seen the original Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh,
I
I
have
have
seen
seen.
it.
I love that movie
Well,
so
Yeah,
much.
It's pretty good.
Jen wins
With 7 fingers.
7-0.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
But if you really think about it, Jen should have epically lost, and Earl should have won.
Oh yeah, of course. As it is
So-
with every Never Have I Ever.
Yeah, it should really, yeah. It should really be
Oh.
Earl's the winner here.
I don't know if I feel good about myself.
You're such a Marvel whore. Yeah, because 10 fingers is usually like, never have I ever had a threesome, stuff like that, like
Right,
scandalous stuff.
right.
Yeah. But, this is a clean
I would
version.
hella win.
Anyway.
Anyways.
Congratulations, Earl.
Yeah, yay.
Yay.
Earl for being a whore.
Congratulations, Jen! Yay!
So,
Time comes for a little wrap up.
A ring wrapper of rapper.
Time
Some
comes for the
rabble-rousing.
wrap up Jeez, I can't even talk. I'm so flustered.
It's time
by
for
winning.
us to wrap up now.
Yes, that's what I was
is what
trying
Earl
to
was
say.
saying.
Do you all have any geeky recommendations? What are you reading, watching?
Oh man.
Anything this week?
I don't have any new ones from last week. I'm sad to say. Do you guys have any?
I introduced Kaitlyn to Riverdale, but she hasn't finished
Oh,
the first episode yet.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
And
that
so
geeky?
far,
It's a comic book.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
Archie. Okay, yeah.
so
it is
far,
that, yeah.
she seems more receptive to Riverdale than
Than
Sabrina.
Sabrina.
She really did not
Just
like
couldn't
Sabrina.
jive
Oh,
with
the
Sabrina.
Netflix Sabrina.
Yeah,
I did
yeah.
not. You haven't watched that either.
I liked the Netflix Sabrina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard super
I enjoyed
dark.
Riverdale as well. It is very dark. I mean, it like draws from a lot of
Occult.
horror,
Like a Satanism. type
horror
stuff.
movies,
Yeah.
classic horror movies, like The Exorcist.
Oh,
But
nice.
I am still chugging along Detroit. I still haven't finished it. Currently, it started at a pretty high peak for me. It's still peaking and valleying, though. I'm not sure what it's gearing up to, but we shall see what happens at the end of it. I am 2 episodes away from finishing Umbrella Academy,
Nice.
and
yeah.
something really, really, really climactic has happened,
Ooh.
which I won't talk about because I know you
What?
both haven't
Sexy.
moved past like either the 3rd or the
I'm
5th
still on
I'm like
episode
at 5,
5.
yeah.
So, oh my God. I mean, it started off, it's like completely exponential in its like nosedive upward,
Action, right?
Uh-huh.
you know,
Yeah.
skyrocketing
Yeah.
upward. But the action,
Nosediving
nosediving
upward.
upward.
Go home, Earl. You're drunk.
Go home, Earl.
Aren't you the one who said it?
No,
Oh,
she-
it's
That's why you said it. Go home, Kaitlyn. You're drunk.
We're all drunk.
I'm drunk.
Oh my
Sorry.
gosh.
My bad.
Go home, Earl. I was like, huh?
Yeah, let's
Sorry.
just blame Earl for
For
all my
everything.
problems.
gosh.
Man, such a whore and a drunk.
I know.
Yeah.
But basically, they really raised the roof, and I think they amped up the action. So I think you both should really watch.
Yeah,
it.
I do need a.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I'm
Anyway.
gonna finish that one.
What are you guys doing?
I did a lot of TV catching up today. I mean, this past week. I watched a few more episodes of Umbrella Academy. So I am at 5. I was at 3. I watched a couple episodes. Mostly, I watched The Expanse season 3 that dropped on Amazon Prime a couple weeks ago, I think. And I went through it like a bulldozer.
The Expanse. Which
Yeah,
one's
The
that?
Expanse. It's a sci-fi series that started off on Sci-Fi on Sci-Fi, and it was canceled, but they picked it up at Amazon. So this next season, season 4, is going to be Amazon Prime exclusive, but they just dropped season 3, which wasn't available till last week. So
Oh, cool.
Wasn't The Expanse the one that featured this new Polynesian star that they cast?
Oh yeah, she's I think she's Maori as Gunny, Roberta
Right.
Draper, yeah.
So yeah,
Nice.
Pan Asians represent.
Right. She's great in
yes.
it. Yeah, she's really cool. It's a super diverse series. I mean, it's all
Wait,
about
what's the synopsis again?
the kind of short synopsis is it's a near future. So we have interplanetary travel as a human race, and 3 factions have formed. There's the UNN, which is the Earth-based faction. There's the MCRN, which is Mars, and then there's the Belters, which are people who live in the asteroid belts, the outer rim of the solar system.
Yeah.
So,
On the edge.
and
as
it's
we would say.
it's the power struggle that takks place there.
Wow.
So
and this
it's-
is on Netflix? Or-
Amazon.
oh,
Amazon.
okay.
Yeah.
He
Another
just
Amazon.
said sci-fi.
I'm
Amazon.
drunk. Gotta go home.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
nice.
the books are right behind
You
us.
guys
I
can
have not
borrow
read
it
the
if you
books
want.
yet,
Cool.
but
Yeah.
Very cool.
the series is super good.
Mhm.
And I am reading a series, a YA series called Dead Girl.
Dead Girl.
Whoa.
Right.
Is she actually dead though?
That's part of what you're trying to find out.
Oh, I see. So it should be called Dead Girl? With a question mark?
Dead Girl. I mean, is she dead? Is she what? Like what? Because you don't know what her. Well, the very basis of the series is this: she gets attacked in an alley. She gets shot after a struggle.
Oh.
She wakes up the next day, and it seems like nothing happened.
Oh, so like Russian doll. I'm just kidding.
Oh, is that what it's about? But we start to find out what the nature of her death or undeath is.
Oh.
So
And this is a series.
it's a series. There's like 4 books right now. It's by an author, B.C. Johnson, who's actually a friend of mine. But
Oh,
actually-
so that's why you're reading Dead Girl?
So it's nepotism.
yeah, absolutely. No, it's been sitting on my
Shameless
bookshelf
plug.
for like months, and I've
okay.
never. I feel
So is
bad.
it good? How are you feeling about it?
I'm super enjoying like the witty banter. I'm into that, so it's pretty good so far. I'm about 100 pages in.
Oh, nice. That reminds me. I did see an episode on a series that was recently released on Netflix called Switched. It's from Japan.
Oh, wow.
It's a 6-episode series called Switch, and it's got a crazy premise. Basically, the premise is that in this world, when there's something called a red moon, or kind of like what we call a blood moon, an eclipse, if someone commits suicide during a red moon,
right,
and makes eye contact with someone else while they're committing suicide,
that's freaky
under the eclipse,
already. Right,
they will trade bodies.
What?
Yes. So the opening, guys, watch
Who
it.
decided this?
That's like some Sputnik sweetheart.
like, who wrote
Watch
this
the
shit?
first episode.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the first thing you see is basically the most popular girl in school is walking down a street,
right,
and then she gets a phone call from like the most unpopular girl in school.
Right.
She's kind of like this chub. She's not a conventionally attractive girl.
right.
She calls her and she says, "Hey, look up." And she looks
no.
up, and she's there
Freaky
standing
as
at the top
heck.
of a building.
Right.
And she's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing up there? She's like, I'm going to jump. And she's like, no, don't move. Don't move. Just stay there. And she's like, look at me. And then she watches as the girl jumps. And then next thing you know, the popular girl wakes up in the hospital.
Right.
And the doctors are like, oh, you're awake now. Okay. And then she looks in the mirror and she's the unpopular girl.
What?
Yeah. And no one recognizes her. No one believes her. Her own mother doesn't recognize her and tells her to go away. It's extremely scary and depressing. And that's the beginning of the first episode. So, so you've got Dead Girl, I've got
like
Switched. Yeah. Check it
Freaky
out.
Friday meets
Yeah, but it's like
500
scary.
Pounds of beauty.
Yeah.
Well, on that very uplifting note, follow us.
We've had a
Nose
depressing
dive
episode
so
so far. Nose diving upwards.
We are nose diving upwards. Can we turn that? Let's trend that. It has to be a thing. Speaking of trending, I know we'll make a shirt out of it. It'll be our thing. We'll put it on our Etsy.
Actually, though, I mean, like when Miles Morales has his he's actually nose diving. They show a clip of him
Going
floating
upwards.
So
Stop trying to make this a
good.
thing.
I'm
It's
gonna
gonna
make
happen.
fetch is a thing. Fetch is a
Fetch
thing.
is not
It's
a
going
thing.
to happen.
Yeah.
Well, follow us with our new hashtag nosedive upwards.
Oh, so this is this is really a thing.
Well, it's gonna.
This is happening, yeah.
I'm gonna make it a thing as soon as I get to the
Damn,
phone.
okay.
Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at PanGeekery. That's PanGeekery. It's behind
Oh
this.
my God, he spelled it
I
right.
did. Had to think for a
I was
second
holding
there.
my breath for a second.
Can
But-
you tell them our the podcasts or the podcast platforms that we're on right now?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So after this, you can find us. You can find a replay of the video, this exact stream on YouTube in a few days. But you can also find our audio on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and I think Stitcher right now.
Stitcher Radio.
So yeah, find us on all those. Hit us up. Say, give us comments. Hit like and subscribe.
All that good stuff.
But yeah, find us. I just want to thank everybody. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Kaitlyn.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Earl.
Earl. Thank you, Rodney.
Thank you, Rodney.
Thank you, Aaron.
And everyone
Thank
else,
You, Joe.
Arnold
Thank
and
you,
Joe.
everyone.
And thank Mark, who's not here.
PwC.
Yeah, and Aaron,
Yeah.
all you guys. Oh, also
And-
thank you again, Jimmy John's, for the spectacular meal. It takes a freak to make a sandwich that'll make you freak.
Please tell me that you didn't just make that up.
That's
Oh.
actually on the, that's actually
I'm
on the
a terrible.
back.
Yeah.
It's on the back of this cup. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Earl. I was
I
like,
know.
way
I
to
was
go.
just-
from.
I just
Coming up with
Kobayashi'd
It
that
takes
one.
a
Yeah,
freak
yeah.
to make a sandwich that'll make you freak. Freak, yeah.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks everybody for watching, for joining in on the stream. Come see us next week, next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Same place, twitch.tv/PanGeekery.
We'll be here. We live here.
Hopefully.
/PanGeekery. Oh my God, I'm
We'll
gonna learn how to talk.
sleep here, so
Yeah, it's gonna be
see
good.
you back in a week.
There's
we
my
won't
sleeping
shower.
bag.
We'll just be back.
Good night.
Bye. Love you. Stay healthy.
Grabbing my mic. PanGeekery podcast, covering all things geek from an all-diverse perspective. Visit us online at www.pangeekery.com.